Back in Jamaica, jazz and soul started to become a big influence in their music, and with that came R&B from the US.
At the time it was rhythm and blues. Well, Jamaica plays most American stations. They couldn't pick up English station because we're near America. So all the music we're hearing all the time was always American music.
This is because following World War II, many Jamaicans regularly travelled into southern states of the US on seasonal farm work. This is where they encountered Americans holding block parties playing jazz, soul and R&B from speaker boxes. Jamaicans living in the ghettos of Kingston would have financially found it difficult to obtain new music or see any live gigs at the time. Due to the demand and the lack of live music, three gentlemen took the initiative to supply and play recorded music to parties and dance halls in downtown Kingston. Count Goody, Count Nicholas and Tom Wong. Tom Wong was a hardware store owner. He would take the music and the equipment to play music at block parties every Friday and Saturday. The crowd loved him, giving him his name.
And calling Tom, boy, you're a great man, and clapping him. So my friend just called him and said, you're a great man. I went to call the great Sebastian, and that name falls on him from that night.
This would become the start of a whole new subculture within the music world, beginning in Jamaica, thus bringing the community together. One day, Tom's car needed a tire change, and luckily a guy called Shine Shoes Vinny was there to help. For his assistance, Tom gave this gentleman the opportunity to become the selector, the specialist in choosing what tracks to play. His name was Vincent Forbes, also known as Duke Vin, as he would operate the first sound system in the UK.
Coxsone went to American farm work and he came back and he started the sound business. Duke Reid used to be in selling booze. That's how he started.
When I used to listen to Coxsone and Duke Reid, they used to have two dance halls in Kingston, Foresters Hall and Kingsland, facing each other. Coxsone would be on one side, Duke Reid would be on side, and 1 million people out in the street, fighting for getting, you know, and it's all rhythm and blues.
Coxsone used to go over there and buy the record, and then he brings them back. He scratch out all the labels, so you would know who sings it. You couldn't buy it. There was no up-and-coming local artist. There was no Jamaican music at the time. Few little calypso thing, but all the record was North America.
Jamaican origins of outdoor sound systems. AM radio at many stations were limited by the broadcast day, as special licenses were required to transmit at night. Those that had such licenses were heard far out to sea and in the Caribbean, where Jocko Henderson and Jockey Jack were American DJs that were listened to at night from broadcast transmitters that were located in Miami, Florida. Jocko came to have an outsized influence on Jamaican MCs during the 50s, as the R&B music played on the Miami stations was different from that played on JBC, which rebroadcast BBC and local music styles. In Jamaica, DJs would set up large sound systems in towns and villages out on the roadside, playing music for informal gatherings, mostly folks who wandered down from country hills looking for excitement at the end of the week. There the DJs would allow toasts by an MC, which copied the style of the American DJs listened to on AM transistor radios. It was by this method that jive talk, rapping and rhyming was transposed to the island, and locally the style was transformed by Jamaican lyricism, or the locals' patois.
Dancehall's roots, like reggae's, were the sound systems of the late 1950s and early 1960s. Sound systems were essentially giant portable record sets. Competition among the various sets was intense, and each had DJs whose job was to get the crowd dance happy and earn the set an exciting street reputation. Sound system DJing, where the record selector talked over the records, encouraging dancers to move and groove, was probably a direct offshoot of what Jamaicans heard overseas or at nights on southern U.S. radio stations. Sir Coxsone Dodd is supposed to have introduced the idea of toasting into the sound system dancehalls, instructing his chief DJ Count Machuki on how to copy the rhyming, jive hipster, bebop sounds of U.S. R&B radio DJs like Douglas, Jocko, Henderson, Vernon, Daddy-O Winslow and Clarence, Papa Stoppa, Heyman .3. Another big influence may have been the American boxer Cassius Clay, later Muhammad Ali, of course. Clay, Ali was extremely popular in Jamaica, achieving an almost heroic status. Jamaicans admired his good looks, style, and refusal to be pushed around by what he considered unjust authorities.
There was Tom, the great Sebastian. He had a sound system, which I used to go by on weekend and listen. He was playing rhythm and blues too. He was playing a lot of Wyoming Harris and stuff like that.
Well, I first met Mr. Dodd through a DJ that he had by the name of Count Machuki, who was the first disc jockey in Jamaica at the time.
Was he speaking?
No, the speaking wasn't really in the swing. I came back and changed that with a lot of toasting, you know.
Did you get that idea from America?
America, right. And then I got together with Count Machuki and, you know, would just toast to him like I've heard it on the radio station.
No, well, Coxsone wasn't the first sound system, but Coxsone sound system was the first sound system to create disc jockeys that would use the microphone in between records. All the other DJs before our time, they would only just put on the records or either dance with a girl or drink a beer, but it wasn't anything exciting. Count Machuki and myself, we are the two persons that started this mic business.
The way they rap, you felt involved because it sounded like they're rapping especially to you, you know. And this is the stuff we came back to Jamaica with, that our sound took off because my sound was the only sound that doing stuff like that.
So where did you get the idea to go to America?
Well, in the early days, it was a popular thing of the recruiting men for Florida, you know, to either work in fruit or vegetable or the sugar cane. But that was like the idea of early means of making some good money within a short period.
So was everyone Jamaican?
Yeah, all Jamaican.
So did you mix with the Americans at all, or?
Really, at work. Yeah, at work we mix with it. And weekend, you know, when you go partying, you mix a lot with the Americans.
So would the parties be in town, or?
Yes, more, yeah, you'd say in town.
Oh, the closer you get, the faster that Cadillac goes. Get up, little car, I gotta go catch my gal. Well, she's riding in the Cadillac, riding with my best pal.
While I was there, I sent the amplifier along with a lot of records and stuff like that.
So you knew that was what you were going to do?
Yes, and I sent diagram of how I'd like the box to be built. Then my old lady got involved, gave out the boxes, and she just started. As a matter of fact, she was the very first female DJ in Jamaica. I get high